welcome back. It's Shannon of Slay Arts. Welcome to my podcast. I think this is episode number 6. I think. Or number 5. Number 5. Sunday brunch was 6. Podcast is 5. There we go. That's podcast is 1 behind the Sunday brunch. Oh, good. How's everybody doing? Happy Wednesday evening, and when this posts, happy Thursday morning. Everybody has had a good week. The shortened week always messes with my noggin, and I have been living the whole week thinking I'm thinking today is Tuesday and yesterday was Monday, but I'll get it all caught up. Let's see. On the podcast today, we're going to talk about, like we always do, things that I did over the past week, things that I've got going on the upcoming week, any craziness that is planned, and kind of snippets on like what is stuff that I've watched, because I watch a lot of stuff while I'm sewing, while I'm putting pieces like legit kits and stuff together. I watch a lot of crazy stuff. I'm a little bit like wibbly wobbly. Tonight I had, right after I got off of work, got an ocular migraine, which for me, they don't hurt. They're not like painful. They make me kind of nauseous. It almost reminds me of, I had vertigo once when the kids were really, really little. So it's been like 20 years. Yeah, about 20 years. That I had vertigo, and that was the worst. I wouldn't recommend that on anybody, or I wouldn't wish that on anybody. I wouldn't recommend anybody get it. And the ocular migraines kind of remind me of that, and just the unsteadiness. But I get rainbows dancing across. Today was my right eye. Sorry, my dog is on the camera, so because she's a goober head. So I just lay down in a dark-ish kind of room, and while I was doing that, while I was waiting for it to pass, I watched The Wizard of Oz, and the reason why will come. Lilu, get up! Oh, Lilu, go! Sorry about that. Giving you guys seasickness. I'll tell you about why I watched The Wizard of Oz when we get to the 2-color quilt challenge discussion. But while you're here and while you're settling in and getting ready for the convo, if you haven't already, please subscribe and definitely like this video, whether you're subscribed or not. And do the whole click the bell thing so you get notified of when like my podcasts go up, or my Sunday lives, my Sunday brunches, which I'd love to have you all join. They've been a ton of fun. But let's dive in. Let's dive into what happened this past week. So on Saturday we did the Cotton Cuts Clue 5. I can't believe we're halfway through already, guys. Wow. So I sewed up Daffodil, where we sew live on Stephanie Stitch's channel here on YouTube. Definitely linked in the description. We do that every month for Daffodil, and we're gearing up for Carnival. Still plenty of time if you want to send me an email, and my email is in the description, and I'll probably have it in one of these locations up here as well, so that you can shoot me an email so that you can get on the email list for Carnival. You are able to sign up until the first clue mails, so that's not until like the end of July. So you definitely have time, but not a lot of time. Don't be wishy-washy. If you want to get the group discount, and as it is right now, we definitely have enough for the largest group discount. And if you want the group discount with us for Carnival, you can't also use an ambassador code. So if you have an ambassador that you're supporting, or if you were a Piazza PMQer, and you were going to use that code, you can't use that code and our group code. So You can't layer those things. But if you do have an ambassador that you're supporting and you use their code, that does not preclude you from signing up for our mailing list and coming and sewing with us. We do it on Zoom if you want to be on camera with everybody, or on YouTube Live if you just want to chat with us and sew along and see, what the folks that are on Zoom, what they're putting together and all the colorways that everybody's chosen. And if you did a Piazza and you use the Piazza code, also does not keep you from joining in on the fun. You just, again, can't stack those codes, that's all. But you can absolutely join us each month. So we will, for a couple of months, for 4 months, right? 4 months, we will be sewing Carnival and then sewing Village Green. So we'll be together 2 times a month, 2 Saturdays a month, to sew up those clues and keep each other accountable. And it's a ton of fun. And all of the folks that are sewing with us that are on camera are amazing, that are in the YouTube are amazing. The ones that are just watch and they aren't even doing the cotton cuts, but they're hanging out with us and chitty chatting with us. It's a lot of fun. We have a really good time. So I hope you consider joining in. And feel free, Stephanie's channel, go ahead and take a look at past ones so you can see what it's about, see how much fun we have and how laid back it is. No pressure. You don't even have to be working on the cotton cuts while you're hanging out with us. So that was Saturday. Actually, before that, in the in my community piece, I put a teaser for this podcast and put a couple of bits and pieces. There was the new logo that my friend Jess created for me. Amazing. She's an awesome friend to have done that. And I did something for her, but I'm not telling anybody right now until I'm able to gift her what I did. So you'll have to wait for that. That'll be maybe next week or the week after that. But that was my new logo, which is really cool. It's the S with the thread into the needle eye with Slay Arts, with the British Racing green, and a kind of tealy melony watermelon-ish kind of background color, which I really like very much. So I've put that in a couple of areas already to show off the new logo, and it'll be popping up on a whole bunch of other stuff. I put the file into Cricut Design Space, so I'm ready to make put something on my computer, put something on my sewing machine. Oh, you might notice I switched machines. I've got my Juki down here now, and I put the Singer upstairs, so I switched machines from upstairs and downstairs. But also in that tease was I went to dinner last weekend with my son, and we went to a new restaurant I don't know how new the restaurant is. It was new to us. It was a sushi restaurant, and it was really good. Their miso soup was really good. Their sushi was really good. I was really happy with it. I'm excited to have tried it out, and I'll probably go back. Not very often. It was a little bit of a drive. And there are a couple of places really close by that are really good too. So, but it was exciting to go out. My son's got the new car, so it was fun to ride around with him in his new car and everything. It was a good time. That was a lot of fun, and it was a good dinner. And then we got Rita's afterwards, which, if you guys don't have Rita's custard, Italian custard or custard, I don't know, Rita's, I'm sorry. It's so good. Whenever you can get yourself to a Rita's, you want to try it out. I did pear and vanilla custard this time. I'm often a mangoer, but this time I did pear, and it was really good. So that was a good way to end the night too. Let's see what else we've got going on. Oh, on Sunday, so that took care of Friday and Saturday. Sunday, I did, for my Sunday brunch, which is every Sunday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. unless it's a legit kit bomb Sunday, which this Sunday coming up will not be because it did not mail in time to get to me. But this past Sunday, we did, well, I hung out and I did a lot more talking than I did sewing, but I was able to get some of the pieces of the mini rose together, and I think I brought her upstairs to do while I'm on conference calls. But I was able to get some of it done. However, during me chitty-chatting and having a good time, when I'm cutting, I stack the pieces in a specific way, and then when I'm ready to put all the pieces together on the piece of paper, I flip the stack. In talking to everybody and in just, you know, the fun of the live, I switched the pieces. I double flipped for some reason, somehow, and actually sewed all those pieces in the opposite direction. But it was such a symmetrical piece that I couldn't even tell, and didn't realize until I was off the live, and I was like, oh, this is no fun. But it's a really good opportunity for me to show. So what I'm going to show this Sunday coming up is what to do when you make a mistake like that. You know, you're sewing on a piece of paper. I did all of those lines, so the piece of paper is definitely ready to fall apart because of the sewing lines. So I'm going to show you what I do when that happens, and I'll show you the mistake that I made, and I'll show you how I'm going to fix it, and that it's like, oh, oops, I was scatterbrained, and I should have triple checked, which is a good lesson to, you know, I should have looked again, but also no harm, no foul. It's not the end of the world, and I'll get it fixed up on Sunday. So if you haven't sewn FPP, if you haven't done a legit kit, if you've done all those things, and you just want to hang out, come back and see me on Sunday when I fix the oopsie and I continue sewing on the mini rose. So that'll be Sunday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. Woohoo! Let's see what's coming up. Oh, no. I ordered the 14-inch slide lock from Fallon of So Be It Quilts, the baby sister of this guy. If I can get her down. Yeah, here we go. So this is the 24-inch, and I ordered the 14-inch, and the word on the street with UPS or U.S. Postal Service, I can't remember which one, but I should be getting it tomorrow. So I'm very excited. The plan is Thursday night I want to do a little, you know, like a short and maybe like a 10-minute show of how I use the big girl, the 24-inch, and then how I'm going to utilize the 14-inch as well. Because I definitely have, you know, some things that I can cut and prep for upcoming projects. So I'm hopefully going to be able to do that tomorrow night if the 14-inch gets here in time. I won't be able to do it this weekend because this weekend is stuffed full of things, and we'll get to that too. I did finish, so I had signed up for the Yvette Renee. If you don't know her, she's also here on YouTube, and I will link her channel down below. I had signed up for her first ever virtual retreat, and I completed the USA. It had been a snack mat, but I really liked the folks that had made it like a little wall hanging or a little door hanging. So I decided to switch it to the door hanging too. I am in love. I think it is the most adorable thing. And I am going to quilt it up and bind it, and I'm going to send it to my aunt and uncle. My uncle's birthday is the 4th of July. So it is a combo, birthday and in America gift for them. You know, it's it's one of those things that, yeah, it's his birthday, it's the 4th of July, it's fitting, but you know it's not gonna be my aunt that's gonna love it. So he'll like it because I made it for sure, but yeah, I just know that she's gonna get a kick out of it. So that's all finished. Well, you know, the top is finished. And I also signed up for, Yvette has her second virtual retreat coming up on July 15th. My calendar of events is over here to keep dates straight in my head. So I signed up for her second retreat, July 15th, which I'm very excited about. That's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's like little ice cream, you know, the ice creams on a stick. That's the project that you get. It's $30, and still plenty of time to sign up. So if it's a nice, like, easy, definitely, you know, easier if you've had FPP experience, and Yvette doesn't really have a time during the virtual retreat to really, you know, handhold, like walk you through totally being a beginner of FPP. But that being said, there are a lot of people on there who are awfully helpful and so fantastic with the tips and tricks that they've all learned too. That if you haven't done a lot of FPP, you should not feel like you can't sign up for it, because you will be supported. You will definitely be supported for sure. So yeah, I'll have that linked. I'll have her channel linked in the description below for sure. What else happened? I participated in a quilting bee of sorts. It was with the Quilt Scouts, and we did a climate change awareness they were log cabin blocks, and we signed up for, do you want to do a traditional log cabin or a wonky log cabin, or do you not care, or would you do both if we needed it, that kind of stuff. And I got the warm, so I did all oranges, and then did one strip of a blue. So the oranges were the hot climate thing, with the blue of water and the need to be aware of that, and other folks did the all blues and greens to be aware of the water and the forest and all that kind of stuff, and then with one red strip in there, signifying the temperature change. And so whichever block you were on, you would send a strip of the fabrics that you were using. So one strip of fabric from the fabrics that you were going to use somewhere in your block, you got put together with another Quilt Scout and mailed that off to them, so that every block had something from somebody else. So there was some cohesion within the quilts. Really, really gorgeous. And I will link some of the promotional stuff that they did with those quilts. And we tried to get into some quilt shows. Well, I'll send the link and everything, or I'll put the link in here so that you can read all about what and why we were doing that. And Quilt Scouts is definitely something, if you are also a kind of, I don't know what the word is. I don't know, like I can't think of the word. Sorry, brain. I had the migraine. That's what I'm gonna blame it on. My brain's not working. But I don't know, if you like that community outreach kind of stuff, and awareness stuff, Quilt Scouts is something that you might want to look into. So last night, because I'm filming this on Wednesday, so last night was Tuesday night, we had our 2 color quilt challenge live on Even Months on Stephanie Stitch's channel. So we were on Stephanie's channel last night and had just the best time sewing up our 2 quilt blocks. I'm going to show, so last month, month 2, was the Sparkling Star and Jewel Box. So those were month 1, and I'm doing a kind of a porcelain, just a porcelain solid in the back, and I did some pictures today and it really looked teal. This is very jade-like, emerald-like. And when I say emerald, that's where we were talking last night. I'd said, oh, Stephanie, your blue and white reminds me of Dorothy's, you know, little pinafore thing of her blue and white in The Wizard of Oz. And everybody said, oh, but your green reminds us of the emerald of Emerald City. Stephanie said it, I think, first. So then I had Wizard of Oz in my head all day. So while I was battling the migraine, I was listening. I had it on the TV, but I had my eyeballs closed because it was so much. But I had Wizard of Oz on, so now I have all those songs in my head. I love it. But so yeah, so my quilt is now, of course, going to have to be called like Emerald City or something of that nature when I finish it up. But block 2, or month 2 blocks, we finished up last night, and this is Fox and Geese, which finished even more pretty than I thought it was going to. It was, you know, a kind of, you know, just cool looking block because of all the half square triangles and what it looked like. And I think it worked up really, really nice with the greens. They just make me happy. And then block 2 was, hold on, I've got threads galore on this guy, was Road to Oklahoma. And that one was block 2 of month 2. So we have 4 blocks done now. There's still plenty of time to join us. The 2-color quilt challenge is a 6-month challenge where we will be doing 2 12.5-inch blocks that we pick the first Tuesday night of each month. Odd nights are on my channel, even nights are on Stephanie's channel. And then we vote. We have a week to vote on those quilt blocks, and the voting is on my channel in my community tab, and you have a week to vote on the 6 different cards we choose from. This is one of the block kits, or decks rather. We choose 6 blocks out of here, and then everybody votes on their 2 favorite. We have them broken down, kind of I put them as mild and spicy selections, and you vote on them and you have a week to vote, and then Stephanie, being the awesome human being that she is, writes up a pattern based on that block, but in a more modern way, because if you have those boxes, which a lot of folks do, which is really cool, they really don't give you the instructions for how to do the quilt block. They tell you what sizes to cut, but not really like the step-by-step. But Stephanie is really awesome and is doing things like, make 8 at a time half square triangles, and shows you how to do that so that you have all of them done at one time, rather than one at a time, one piece at a time. Very next day, for the past 2 months, only our first 2 months, but very next day she's mailing out those patterns. You do have to sign up. There's a mailing list that I will also put in the description below. You have to sign up to get the patterns so that we know who, you know, kind of who's involved. And I think we're almost at 200 folks who are joining us for this 2-color quilt pattern. I am doing just 2 fabrics. Stephanie happens to be doing just 2 fabrics. I think there are a number of us that are doing 2 fabrics for the whole quilt top. You do not have to do that. There are a couple people who are doing a background fabric and then say like scraps of red. You know, the rainbow of red colors, you know, kind of like an ombre effect or something. So it is your interpretation of what 2 colors means to you. and how you want your quilt top to end up looking. We're not giving you a finishing pattern because we are going to finish them. We're not even telling each other how we're going to finish ours, and we want to be surprised by how you're going to finish yours. So if it's something that you've never done before, you've never had to think about how you're going to finish a quilt top, they are 12.5 unfinished blocks. You could just, if that is big enough, to just sew those 12 blocks together in like a 3x4, and you could have just a nice sized like lap quilt basically, or a wall hanging, and not have to do anything special for any kind of like setting. You don't have to worry about sashing, you don't have to worry about cornerstones, you don't have to worry about any of that kind of stuff. No borders or anything like that. Or you can go crazy and do as much of all of what I just said as you want to. It's up to you, but there are definitely enough 12.5-inch block quilts out there that you could get some ideas on, like how much of a border you might need for additional fabric, how much of sashing you might need, and cornerstones and stuff like that. So you just have to do a little bit of homework, and you should be able to figure all that out for yourself, because we aren't going to be providing that to you. We want to be surprised by your finished quilt top, just like we're going to be surprising each other with how we finish ours. And we're 2 months in. We'll finish in October, and then in November we'll show off how we decided to finish it, and I keep flip-flopping back and forth. I can't decide how I want to do it. So I think maybe as we get more and more blocks done, I'll start to see, you know, how I want to kind of lay them out, and then maybe I'll something will jump out at me, like it'll tell me what it wants to be. But that's the 2-color quilt challenge, and I'll put all that information in the bottom. I was watching Stephen Bland this week. He's back from Halifax. He was there with Walter and Stephanie and Cheryl Curley. If you haven't seen those videos, they are a riot. So it sounded like it was a lot of fun out there. They are just back, and he was showing his haul and Stephanie was showing her haul, and they both ended up getting, Stephanie for a friend of hers, Stephen for himself, a couple of panels that they got. And those panels, I felt like I was looking at them, I'm like, I swear I've seen those before. I feel like I've seen those before. I feel like I've seen those before. And I hadn't seen those specific ones, but what I had done back in the day with So Yeah was I had ordered a kit that is somewhat similar in feel. This is called Sea Life. And so that's what I was remembering. And look at that, it's a puffin. That's my favorite animal. So that's what I was remembering when I was seeing Stephen's quilt from Hell 2. It was this Sea Life quilt that I had gotten. Fabrics from the Sea Life collection by Evan Zerbitz. So this is what I was remembering. And so I found it and I pulled it out, and I think I'm going to add this now to my list, because this shouldn't be too hard. It's a panel that you cut up, and then there's some extra fabrics to do the bordering around it. So it shouldn't be too bad. But now it's in my head because I kept thinking, oh, I've seen this. I've seen something like this. And I did. I had it. So that will become a work in progress on my list of things to do. Cool. So that is the what I did, what I rediscovered. Oops, I gotta put that card back in there. I don't want to lose that. What I am doing, again, gonna try to do, hopefully, if it comes tomorrow, I'm gonna try to do the 24 and 14-inch slide lock little mini tutorial. Gonna try to do that tomorrow night. I will be sewing up Clue 5 of Cotton Cuts Village Green of the Dahlia, which is the Tulip Pink. I will sew this up and have that as a, you know, just a video to show it coming together. I'd skipped month 4 because of my sister's wedding reception, and so I got to get back on the ball and get 5 out there and on my channel, so I'll do that. Already talked about Carnival mailing in July, and that the Legit Bomb will not be, because they didn't mail it soon enough. Actually, I got the digital files today, but I didn't get the shipping notification, so I'm not sure that the clues even mailed today. So if they mail, it's not going to get to me in time for this weekend. So the Legit Bomb month 3, so the 4 blocks for month 3, we will work up on Sunday, July 2nd from 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern, and we'll sew those together, and that will mean that the Sunday brunch, which is usually 11 to 1, will be shortened. It'll be just like 11 to 11:30 to come on and say good morning to folks that I usually see at that time, and remind them too that it's a Legit Bomb day. So be on the lookout for that, July 2nd. And let's see, speaking of legit kits, I had posted the little baby owl. Their newest pattern was called Little Hooter. I had posted about him. Everybody's posting about him. They were very excited about Little Hooter. They were excited about all of the buzz that they had gotten at all of the quilt shows that they'd been to during the first half of this year, that they actually ordered double the amount of fabric to make double the amount of kits available for the pre-order sale. And they sold out in 3 days. Gone. All of them are gone. So they have that so the pre-order sale shut down after 3 days. The link is no longer available, but it's pretty cool. It broke their record of how fast a kit sold out, on top of the fact that they had already doubled what they normally order because they knew it was going to be popular. So that little bugger, I'll put a little picture of him up here in one of these sides too. So adorable. So when he's back, I'll let everybody know when he's back out there and ready to order for regular, not the pre-order price, but the regular what the kit is going to be, which I think is $2.99. I'm pretty sure it's $2.99 for the full kit, for all the fabrics and the full kit. Yeah, I'll let everybody know about that when that is available again. Let's see. So the insanity for myself is that I did find this kit, and I do want to add that to my list. I am continuing my focus though on legit kits, so on the Mini Rose and on Sail Away and on Mini Sculliver. Those are the 3 that I want to get done. I want to have those done before I leave for Walnut Port. If I can't get them done before I leave for Walnut Port in the middle of September, I will be bringing those, and at any point in time where we're not doing anything else, I will be working to finish those up, because I want to get those done, because I've got, I have to show that I have, yes, I have FPP experience over the past couple of years, but I got to show that I have legit kit experience if I want to, be able to, still is on my list to become a certified instructor. So when they are ready for that, I need to be ready, so that so I'm waiting on them. They're not waiting on me. Let's see. Anything else? Let me see. Oh, this weekend. This weekend is going to be crazy because there is Stephen has a pop-up sew day on Saturday, which starts at 8 o'clock, 8 or 8:30, but I think 8. That starts at 8 o'clock. Then I'm gonna be on that first thing. I'm gonna scooch for a little bit because I was invited to be on like a sewing bee with some friends you might know, with Practically Creative, which is Melissa, I think she said Brandy, which is 1,000 Proof Quilter, Colleen, which I can't remember. I can't remember what her channel is. I'm so bad. Oh, you know what? I bet you I can pull it up right here. Colleen gave me the list. But it's going to be a bunch of us, which I'm very excited about, for about like an hour of sewing together. Dawn of My Quilt Projects, Sylvia of You and Me FPP. So yeah, Colleen sews and chats. How did I not remember that? Lord have mercy. But so that's about an hour on Saturday from 10 a.m. to like 11 a.m. And then I'll hop back onto Steven's live and do that for the rest of the evening. So that's probably until 5. Then Sunday, I'll have my Sunday brunch from 11 to 1. And then I have from 2 to 8 is T Quilts virtual retreat, which is, and the pattern that we're working up is Trip Around the Scrap Basket. So that's the pattern that she's providing us for the virtual retreat. I'm very excited about it. I haven't done a T Quilts retreat or anything, so this is my very first. I am thrilled to be a part of that. I've got some friends that have signed up for it too, so we'll all be able to do that together. And then that evening is our virtual guild meeting too, where we'll be showing off the block of the month that we're all working together. It was the Anvil block, which I don't know if I have that down here because it's my to be matchstick quilted project for that video too. A lot of stuff, still a lot of stuff. I watched this past week while I was sewing. I'm a basic. Basically, give me a pair of Uggs and a Starbucks in my hand. I am so typical woman that I love watching true crime stuff. So I watched Homicide for the Holidays. Was their season premiere was this past week. Hooked on the show on Max. It might be on HBO, like on the cable too, but I watched it on Max, where it's underage undercover. Just addicted to that show. Watched a couple of episodes. I was a couple episodes behind, so watched that this past week. So yeah, I was definitely filling up the world is full of horrible people. Well, what can I say? It's just crazy to watch, and I don't know why so many of us are so captivated by it all, but I am. And then ended the week with Wizard of Oz tonight, so that's always a nice wholesome ending to a week. So yeah, I think that's it. I think that checks off for over the next couple of days. Yes, indeed. All right. Well, I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend. I hope you all will consider joining me on Sunday. I will be, again, sewing up the mini rows, showing how I fixed my boo-boo, where I switched all my fabrics around. It's just this wee little piece, so it's not as tragic as it could be if I had already cut huge pieces, and now I'm like, I don't have any more fabric left. So not as tragic as it could be, and it'll be all good, and I'll show you how I fix it. Sunday from 1 to 3, nope, Sunday from 11 to 1 Eastern, 11 to 1 Eastern on Sunday. All right, that is all for now, folks. Thanks again. I look forward to seeing you Sunday, and I will talk to you again next week. Thanks, everybody.